Welcome, everybody, to game number 3 in our final game in action here tonight at the John Wicken Sports Complex in North Atlantic Conference Baseball Tournament action. Right now, we've got the losers of the first 2 games, the Fighting Tigers of SUNY Cobleskill and the Lynx of Lesley. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Miller, doing alongside Xander Koch. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Xander, these 2 teams had less than stellar showings earlier today, so what can we expect in this matchup?
Well, first and foremost, both teams are going to play aggressive against each other. Cobleskill lost their game earlier against Husson, 8-2. They were ice cold with the bats. Pitching got out of hand after the first inning. And with Lesley, their bats didn't gain any traction until that 5th inning when they had that 4 spot. But after that, it went downhill from there against Thomas. And this Lesley lineup just played a game 45, 50 minutes ago, whereas Cobleskill has had hours to rest and ice up. So it's going to be interesting how these 2 teams play today.
Lesley in that last game went through 4 different pitchers facing the Terriers of Thomas College, eventually ending the game with number 17, Patrick Teasdale. It started out with Jacob Nembergut to start out the game, and he was a little bit rusty in those first couple innings as he allowed some runs up for the Terriers as that one's drove to right field. Getting under it is the center fielder, Jacob. What a great play to start out. Center fielder Dekorsky, and a quick out now for the Tigers. That was Morales knocking it over to right field, who had a pretty strong showing fielding wise in left field for the Lynx earlier tonight. And here's Christian McElroy, who had a few big hits as well. And facing off with them on the mound is senior Logan Scott from Binghamton, New York, having himself a pretty solid year. ERA of 5.96. That one's right in there for strike number 1. Has a 30.1 IP. So very solid numbers all around for Scott. So McElroy rips that one over to left center field. And getting under it is the left fielder Ferment. And a quick 2 outs on 2 batters for the Fighting Tigers.
That's a great way to start the game for the Fighting Tigers. They did something similar like that to the Eagles in the first inning where it was a quick 3 outs. But it's a 9-inning game. Baseball is a game of runs.
Slow and steady wins the race indeed, as James Brandon back into the game, into the batter's box, had a relatively quiet outing for the Lynx earlier today. As he rips that one over to left field. That one's going back, and it's out of here. James Brandon, a great start to this game. Had very little action against the Terriers earlier, but gets things started for Lesley.
And you could tell off the bat, that ball was going way out. You saw my reaction. I saw that up in the air, and my hands went like the. Obviously, the viewers can't see, so I can't even say like this.
Imagine like you're on a roller coaster and you hit that turbulence on the way down.
Or a ref saying the kick is good.
That was Xander's reaction to that bomb by Brandon. You think he said thank you, rounding the bases?
Oh, he definitely said thank you.
Sure that
was a gimme pitch. Right down the middle, anyone swings at that.
Absolutely. And now Colin McCarthy stepping up to the batter's box. He had himself a pretty solid showing earlier this evening. Batted in a few runs that gave the Lynx a bit of momentum against Thomas. Could not get the job done, though, as they fell 11-5. That went outside for ball number 2. Both dugouts being extremely vocal as always. These North Atlantic Conference teams love to get chirpy and chippy as McCarthy faces a 3-0 hole. MacArthur coming into these two games, hitting a very solid 247 on the year. With a triple, 4 home runs as that one goes away for a strike.
Now that Lesley bench is letting Cobleskill hear it, this is a do-or-die game. Loser is out of the tournament. Winner will take on the loser of Thomas Husson tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be a very interesting game as well.
There's a lot on the line here.
Say Lesley wins the game, a chance of redemption after the devastating defense of Thomas really had them working today. Pitch from Scott, high and away. And McCarthy will get to first base. As we got 2 outs, Lesley scoring off the home run from James Brandon. And now Owen Gallagher steps up to the plate. Had a nice line drive past the first and second baseman against Thomas. Was relatively quiet throughout the rest of that contest, however. Got a relatively short leadoff on first. As that one's popped up into right field. Getting under it is the first baseman Platt. He gets underneath it, and that'll end the inning for the Fighting Tigers and a chance to get themselves on the board. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Here we are, bottom of the first, leading off for the Fighting Tigers. Number 7, Zach Dukorski out of Oceanside, New York. Pretty solid campaign for him, batting a .360 on the year. Field percentage of 98.5, 44.1 is the slug percentage as well.
And in that last matchup against Husson, he collected 3 out of the 4 hits for Cobleskill.
He's going to be facing off with Raymond Morales, who in the last game against Thomas played primarily shortstop. But with the amount of personnel changes that Lesley went through, I guess they decided to put him on the mound. That one's inside, strike number 1. And Dukorski faces a 2-1 count. when we're taking a look at our roster sheets here, it's actually kind of insane how many more players Cobleskill has on their roster as compared to Lesley. Lesley, not a very deep team, very talented nonetheless, but Cobleskill just has, I believe, nearly double the amount of players that Lesley has as well. So the numbers game will be very important here. DeCourcy rips that one to right field. Getting underneath it is Cal Caruso, and he makes it easy out for the Lynx.
There's also some lineup changes. Tedford is in the game, or is in the lineup for Cobleskill as the designated hitter. Flora batted second last game. He's now batting seventh for the Fighting Tigers.
Now Logan Ferment stepping up into the box. Swing and a miss, strike number one. Ferment coming into these last two games, 306 on the year with 3 home runs, 4 doubles, 13 RBIs. Good slug percentage of 48.6. On base percentage of nearly 39%. As he rips that one over and past the shortstop. He's going to look to turn the corner as the outfielders are struggling to keep up with the ball. Fumbled it briefly. And a great way to start things out for the Fighting Tigers.
And Ferment is a huge dude. I mean, his forearms are the size of tree trunks. So when he makes squared contact with the ball, there's so much exit velocity out of it. That ball came screeching off the bat. The shortstop, Gallagher, couldn't react in time, went under his legs into the outfield. Just a great piece of hitting from Ferment.
Now we got Corin Lorilla into the box. Now a chance to potentially tie this game up here. The sophomore out of East Greenbush, New York. Pretty solid numbers all around in this season. 372 with 25 RBIs. As Gallagher this time corrals the ball, hangs up at second, and just gets Lorilla at first base. Man, great job by Gallagher to keep Ferment on second, and great reaction to get the batter out at first.
Couple of hops on that throw, didn't even matter. Lorilla didn't have enough speed, able to get that second out, and now it's time for timely hitting for Platt. You have that runner in scoring position. Lesley grabbed that early lead with the towering bomb.
Call Platt now. Chance to take a look at Morales. Pretty big leadoff for Ferment on second. Trying to dare Morales to take a throw at him. As Platt takes off for the races for first, and that'll do it from the bottom of the first. A quick little bloop over to James Brandon at first. Ends the inning as Cobleskill still a goose egg going into the second. Top of the second set to get underway. Lesley takes control first with a bomb from James Brandon. Now the third baseman, Caden Schott, up into the batter's box to take on Scott. Faces the 1-0 count. Very interesting clash of teams here. Both have pretty good, very solid pitchers and very solid batters up and down the roster. Zary, when it comes to two teams like this, what stands out to you the most?
I like the situational hitting from both teams. Obviously, Cobleskill didn't showcase that against Husson. Lesley somewhat showcased it against Thomas. They had that 4 spot in the 5th to put them back in the game. But after that, the bats went back to ice cold. But
there's a rip by Schott to left field. And gets things going here for the Lynx. In this top of the second. Great way to start there.
Back to what I was saying. This is definitely a game where both teams, the hitting is going to come alive. Obviously, they're going to be way more aggressive. This is do or die opportunity. Neither of these teams want to go home early. They want to fight for tomorrow.
Yeah, both teams, whoever it is, will be.
Ooh.
As Colby Jacobs got nailed by the pitch. You know, what I was going to say was that both these teams will give Husson or Thomas a run for their money depending on how that game plays out. We saw Lesley nearly take it to Thomas earlier, but it was the incredible batting of Jason Bartlett, Tony Meza, among others, that really got things going for Thomas to let him pull out the win. And obviously Husson has been dominant all year this year due to the large and very balanced group of talent they have on their roster.
I'm more excited for the Thomas Husson game tomorrow. Winner of that one advances to the championship. And yeah, we talk a lot about Husson, how they're such a great team. I mean, out of these 4 teams in the tournament, they have the best record, rightfully so. But you look at who's facing them tomorrow. It's the Terriers. Terriers, last time these teams played in the series, Terriers took 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah, definitely on a one-sided affair, as the standings might say. The Terriers have had quite the level of success against the Eagles. It'll be very interesting to see these two teams clash in postseason action, where pretty much all of that gets erased. Regular season does not matter anymore. It is a clean slate. Anything can happen, and the odds are the highest. As the bunt by Caruso advances the runner, he gets out at first. But a good level of hitting there, as they got 1 out now. Runners on second and third, and prime scoring opportunity for Lesley.
And that's a situational hitting I rave about. You have runners on first and second, with no outs. So they lay down that bunt opportunity, and it's right to the pitcher, able to advance both runners. Now you have 2 runners in scoring positions, and no double play opportunity either.
Here's Keenan Hobart. Played a lot of his time in right field. Took a swing on it. That's going to bring in a runner. And the lead now up to 2 for the Lynx. As the error by the catcher, Lorilla, results in Schott getting home. Now 0-1 count now for Keaton Hobart, who had a lot of time in right field. In that last game, we'll be playing left today. So that one's low and away from ball number 2. You can just, not very many people here today for this game. Have quite a bit of people for both teams thinking of how much travel time that it would take to get here. They'd like to see these passionate, dedicated fans. And if they're anything like their favorite teams, then they're very vocal as well, as the Lynx have been super chirpy throughout this game to start out. As the pitch is low and away. 3-1 count now for Hobart. Prime chance to bring in a runner here.
It's the hitters count now.
With Jacob on third. And Hobart will get walked to first. And now Raymond Morales. We said the shortstop in the last game against Thomas. The pitcher in this one to start out. Let's get a little timeout on the play for the Fighting Tigers. Looks like they're going to huddle it up. Now, what a night it is for baseball, Xander. I mean, pretty good temperature, all things considered. Sun has gone down quite a lot since that last game. Just a beautiful night for baseball.
Perfect night. We got the field lights on. Nice weather. It's May, baby. Love it.
Yeah, that's until the next snowstorm comes and gets us in, late July or something.
If that happens, I swear I will. I don't know what I'm going to do. But first thing I'm going to do is definitely get out of Maine if that happens.
I'm hopping on the first plane to Spokane, Washington, if that's the case.
Why Spokane?
I don't know. It's a funny word. Spokane. As Morales. Catcher trying to cut off a runner on second. Both runners safe in their respected bases. And the lead continues to blossom for the Lynx. Man, great recognition by Hobart to take off for second. And then it was Jacob at third base.
I am loving the aggressive base running from Lesley tonight. They're applying pressure on Cobleskill defense. And when you do that, it often creates mental mistakes. And we're seeing that so far from Cobleskill.
It's definitely what you need with Lesley as well. As they were not ultra aggressive until later in the game against the Lynx. Definitely the early aggressiveness in this first two innings, definitely benefiting them so far. Morales gets caught swinging. Now quick out, another out for Logan Scott. Runner still on second. As we are at top of the order now, and Christian McElroy back into the batter's box. So McElroy was busy in that game against Thomas. It seemed like a lot of their outfield shots went to him in left field, and he definitely made them pay. Had about 5 catches. Hobart still on second. Pretty big leadoff as well. The shortstop Gutierrez looking to catch him off. That one's zipped in there. Strike number 1. A 1-1 count for McElroy. Now, if you're both these teams, Xander, when you're in this kind of situation where it's do or die time, one loss and you're out of here, what do you think the mindset is when you're on the field?
Batting-wise, you want to play aggressively. Swing at those pitches in the zone. Defensively, you want to stay composed. Don't let anything get by you. You don't want to have any mental mistakes. Cobleskill had a few of those against Husson that costed them, whether it's on the mound or in the outfield or in the infield. You can't let any of those happen. And if you're Lesley, you want to keep your foot on the pedal. Yeah, you're up 3 runs, but it's only the second inning. It's a 9-inning game. It's a long game.
Yeah, plenty of time for anything to happen. As Scott catches McElroy swinging. And Lesley, off a couple good hits and some stolen bases, extends their leads to 3-0 as we go in to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second now, Jesus Sarda checking up into the batter's box to face off with Morales. Sarda, pretty solid year all around for him, batting .280 in his junior campaign with 1 home run, 6 doubles, and a 37% slug percentage. Very dangerous player in the box indeed. Check the swing. That puts him in an 0-2 hole. Just patiently waiting for any sort of contact with the bat. Just a bit outside for ball number 1. Sarda, the 6'2 junior from Colony, New York. In a series versus Lesley, he had 5 RBIs and 1 double. As that pitch is called ball by the first base umpire. So very solid numbers for Sarda. Let's see what he can do against a very formidable pitcher in Morales. He wallops that one over the dugout of the Fighting Tigers. Stays 2-2.
And falling behind 3-0 early in this game, it puts major pressure on these Cobleskill hitters. Now they're in the mindset of, as there's a swing and a miss from Sarda, now they're in the mindset of they need to spark a rally of their own. And that's not the mindset you want to be in this early in the game.
Now Christian Tedford, the freshman out of Coxsackie, New York, into the batter's box, batting .218 on the year, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, 27% slug percentage, 28% on base percentage. Not a bad showing for the freshman in his first season donning the black and the orange. As he faces 1-0. I definitely agree with you. Back to your current point, Xander, is that near Lesley, you can afford to just keep the pressure on. And if you're the Fighting Tigers, you need to, it's not nowhere near desperation time, but when you're facing a hole like this, obviously you need to find some sort of momentum to get yourselves back into this game. Morales now. Inside for strike number 1. 2-1 count now for Tedford. Tedford having a pretty solid year out in the field as well, an 82% field percentage. Again, down the middle and inside, strike number 2. 2-2 count now for Tedford. Morales slowly but surely finding the sweet spot on the mound. We saw a lot of that from some of the other Lesley pitchers in that first game against Thomas, where it seemed like it took a while for the pitchers to get warmed up. Morales, so far, not skipping a beat as he faces a 3-2, as he gives a 3-2 count to Tedford. Big opportunity here for Lesley to get the batter out, and for the Fighting Tigers a chance to get on base. Swing and a miss for Tedford, and 2 straight outs and 2 straight strikeouts for Morales. Now number 10, David Flora, who's having himself yet another phenomenal year for the Fighting Tigers out of Windsor, New York. Batting .313 on the year, 36% slug percentage, 14 RBIs, 5 doubles. Just a very solid player overall for the SUNY Cobleskill team. He lets it go, but it results in a strike on 1 count. Cobleskill's dugout now getting very vocal. As that one's popped up, getting under it is the catcher as it rattles off the aluminum bleachers. 0-2 hole now for Flora.
One thing about Flora is that he's the career hits leader out of Cobleskill. And he was held hitless in his matchup against Husson. He's down 0-2 early against Morales here.
You can see him being ultra aggressive, kind of hit his way out of that slump. And that tells you the kind of pedigree that the Eagles have as a team. When you're able to hold someone as good as Flora to 0 hits, it means you're doing something right. And now Morales and the Lynx are going to do the exact same thing. If he can get going, things can change. As that one's popped up over to the third baseman. Calling it off with shot as he puts the inning away. And the Lynx still holding on to a 3-0 lead over the Fighting Tigers. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with the top of the third. Top of the third, and James Brandon, who broke the ice for the Lynx, steps back up to the plate, walled the ball over the left field fence. We'll see if he can make a lightning strike twice here, as he is beamed by Scott to start out. Maybe not the pitch that Scott was looking for. Maybe not the outcome that probably, or very likely not the outcome that Brandon was looking for either.
No, it wasn't. And one thing that separates these two teams right now is that Lesley's defense is doing its job. There's no runs, no signs of miscues, so there's solid team defense behind Morales, whereas Cobleskill, there's been a wild pitch that led to a run, and then there's been already a couple hit by pitches. So right now it's Cobleskill sort of shooting themselves in the foot early on.
Yeah, and we talked about how fresh Cobleskill is coming into this game, but then if you really think about it, it doesn't really put Lesley at a disadvantage though, because their legs are still relatively warm. They've gotten accustomed to the flow of the game, so they're already kind of wired and fired up here. As Colin McCarthy, this is the 1-0 count. Checks the swing, strike number 1. Yeah, the bean pitch by Ron Brandon kind of reminded me earlier today. Hayden Dibner for the Thomas College Terriers was beamed 3 times in the game. Might have been 4 actually. The ball just for whatever reason just kept going his way.
That was Tanner Evans against Cobleskill earlier today. He got hit by the pitch 3 times as well.
There's a lot of wild pitches being thrown today.
As the great Steve Smith would say, ice up, son, ice up.
Yeah, you need some ice. Just get some icy hot, and you'll be a-okay. McCarthy faces the 1-1 count. Drops the bunt down right into the glove of Scott. Look at McCarthy at first, but it advances Brandon to second base. So now 1 out for the Fighting Tigers. Runner on second, and Owen Gallagher back into the batter's box. Going into this one, 291 batting average for him. 22 RBIs and 6 doubles and 3 triples.
And again, that was great situational hitting by Lesley. No outs, runner on first, able to place another bunt. Now you have that runner in scoring position with only one out. If you're Lesley, you want to keep applying pressure. No lead is safe, especially not 3 runs. Add on a couple more this inning, and it shifts the momentum entirely in your favor.
Yeah. I had a great conversation with our good friend and colleague Ivan Tibbetts, who called the Thomas game with me against Lesley, and he pretty much made the same point that you did, saying that no lead is safe at all, especially in this day and age of sports. A 3-run lead, that's easy. That's light work for any team now, especially 2 talented teams like these two. Pitch from Scott, and another being hit. Gets Gallagher going to first base. Now runners on first and second. 1 out for the Fighting Tigers.
And that's already the 3rd hit by pitch that Scott has thrown. Clearly, he has no control over his pitches so far.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're looking over towards their dugout. There's already someone warming up, so it's only a matter of time before he gets taken out.
Make
and
that number 4.
Wow.
Man, you just spoke that one into existence, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at my job.
Yeah, Jeannie Cook over here just wishing things into existence. Like,
hallelujah.
Colby Jacobs back into the batter's box. As we got a timeout.
Yeah, here comes the pitcher.
Cobleskill. Yeah, looks like coming out of the bullpen is the pitcher. We'll see who it is.
Look at me go.
Dude, you are on it today, man.
Bang, bang, bang.
Was that 3 big bangs?
That was 3 big bangs.
Instead of 5 big booms?
We're doing bangs now.
Let's see. Booms is a basketball thing.
I miss booms.
I do too. Shout out Max Sturm if he's watching this game.
Shout out Dice Arts.
Literally sponsored by Dice Arts, along with First National Bank, Cross Insurance, the Cross Insurance Center, Uno's Pizza, Domino's Pizza, and a smattering other of companies and businesses that I cannot read from here. Now stepping up to the mound. Stepping up to the mound for the Fighting Tigers is Evan Balbera, the junior out of Pacho, New York, having himself a pretty solid year. Over his career, he's garnered a 56.0 IP with an HRA of 4. It's a very solid pitcher all around for this Fighting Tigers team.
Yeah, Balbera, the junior. Obviously, his earned run average isn't what he likes. He's made 12 appearances this season. .29 innings pitched. And across those 29 innings, he's allowed 20 runs.
Very good. Really likes to lean back on that back leg when he's going up for he's going into his motion. So you'll see how far back he.
I like the off-speed movement of his pitches. And this is one thing to take notice of. Opponents are batting .370 against Balbera. Putting him in when Lesley is lighting it up with the bats right now could be troublesome. So Balbera has to be on his A game right now. He's got bases loaded. This is a terrible situation for him, but it's also a prime opportunity to get that double play with that 1 out.
Runners on first and second. That one popped up, and the shortstop is going to get underneath it and call it away. Easy out for the Fighting Tigers. It was Gutierrez calling off the center fielder Jakorski to make that play happen. Now 2 outs for the Fighting Tigers. And Cal Caruso up to the plate Didn't see him in action in that game against Thomas, but pretty solid player all around. 177 throughout the year. Senior out of Sarasota, Florida. He faces the 0-1 count from Balbera. So bases are juiced. Caruso with a prime opportunity here. Looks to favor that bat being cocked all the way back. Takes a look at it, in for strike number 2.
And those are two nasty pitches from Balbera. Finding the zone early on, that's what you want out of him in this bases loaded jam.
Pitch from Balbera. Outside for ball number 1. Seems like he's really favoring that outside zone of the batter's box.
Yeah, he's trying to make these Lesley hitters chase at those outside pitches. Obviously, Lesley is a well-coached team. If they see those outside pitches, they're typically not going to swing at those.
Head coach Corey Mercier, his first season as the Lesley coach.
Well, that was a close one.
Very close. He's in for a 2-2 count now for Caruso. Corey Mercier was named head coach in October of 2024. In his first season has led the Lynx to a 19-16 record, but an 11-5 in conference play. Pretty solid numbers all around for your first year. So Caruso rips that one over the fence and fouls it away. So you have Gallagher, Jacobs, and looks like the runner on third as well. So prime opportunity for Cal Caruso to light it up here. Swing a bit delayed. Even that's Brandon still on third. Gallagher at second. And shot at first, so very little movement for the runners in this one. As they've all been beamed by the pitch. A big leadoffs for all three of them, especially Gallagher at second. Nearly hit again was Caruso getting out of the way.
Now it's a full count, and you're going to expect all the runners to go as soon as Balbera winds up on the mound.
They wouldn't be surprised if Balbera once again tried to take it outside of Caruso's hitting zone. Or we tried to aim it a little bit more outside to, like you said, just make him chase it a little bit. And a swing and a miss. Great way to end the inning for Balbera. Keeps Lesley from scoring any more runs. We still got Lesley at 3 and Cobleskill with a goose egg as we head to the bottom of the third. Here we are, bottom of the third. It's the second baseman, Ryan Lansing, stepping up to bat for the Fighting Tigers this season with a 256 average with 2 triples, 5 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 1 home run. He faces the 0-1 count.
How about Balbera, that top third inning, escaping that bases loaded jam without further damage from Lesley. It just shows the resilience from him on the mound.
Yeah, so far Balbera doing a good job of preventing Lesley from getting any sort of positive momentum. So we'll see if Morales can kind of replicate the same success. So that ball is outside for a 2-1 count for Ryan Lansing. I gotta say that I do really like the color scheme of the Fighting Tigers jerseys. They look really cool in my opinion.
Oh, it looks clean when it's night, but it is a pain in the butt when you're trying to call a game during daylight. It's hard to see those numbers on those jerseys.
Yeah, I could see that being an issue.
That, and I'm a local kid. I went to Bangor High School. So I hate black and orange.
Yeah, not a big Brewer fan.
Heck no.
Yeah. You see, my colors were just navy blue, royal blue, and white. That pitch is low and away for ball number 3. A full count now for Lansing. Morales doing a pretty solid job as well, not allowing any sort of momentum or mojo from the Fighting Tigers. So we'll see if he can keep up that good stretch of pitching. That one popped up right into the stratosphere. Getting under it is the shortstop Gallagher, and a quick out for Lesley. Gallagher's been involved in a couple plays early on in this game. I'd be surprised if we saw more of that. This is the 4th time today that we've heard a Snoop Dogg song come across our playlist here at the Winkin Sports Complex. That one ripped up near the third base line. Tracking it down is Jacobs. And he, shot at third base, and he comes down with it. 2 quick outs for the Lynx. That was ripped away by Jeffrey Gutierrez from the Bronx. Now we're back to the top of the order with center fielder Zach Dikorsky. So 2 quick outs in this third inning, Xander. If you're the Fighting Tigers, what does your approach have to be for the rest of the game?
Well, you're not in a sense of urgency just yet.
Is that ball tracked down by Brandon? That'll take us to the end of the third and take us right to the top of the 4th. We'll be right back for the start of the 4th on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Keenan Hobart steps back into the batter's box.
Another Snoop reference.
Yeah, number 5 for the day.
This is for the G's and this is for the hustlers.
No,
This is for the hustlers, not back to the G's.
Keenan Hobart faces off with Barbera, on the pitcher's mound. A lot of Snoop Dogg, definitely a lot of Snoop Dogg fans in our production team as that one's rifled over the booth.
Oh, I'm one of the biggest Snoop Dogg fans. One, he's from Long Beach. I'm from LA.
Yep.
Got to represent the West Coast.
Absolutely.
2, I'm a Steelers fan. He's a Steelers fan. Sometimes he's a casual Steelers fan, but
Yep.
I let it slide because he's a legend.
Of course. Rifle away. 1-2 count now for Hobart.
Lesley had Cobleskill on the ropes last inning with that bases loaded opportunity with only 1 out. Couldn't get anything going.
A drop third strike.
It was a missed opportunity. Luckily for them, they didn't let any momentum shift in Cobleskill's favor. Now you have the top of the order returning.
Yeah.
And this is a prime opportunity for Lesley to put some more runs on the board.
If you get Morales on base, you have a chance to get Brandon back up to bat, just a couple batters away. Of course, he was the one that broke the ice for the Lynx with that deep drive to left field, as a wise man once said. Morales nearly kerpowed by that pitch there. Morales just doing a little bit of everything. A little Shohei Ohtani game for Morales here. Pitching and facing off in the batter's box as he rips that one to left field. He's gonna get on to first base, turns to the corner, looking for second. Thought about it. Ball is loose, and he's gonna be held up at second base. Man, great play by Morales.
Only that, able to stop on a dime between first and 2. Saw the throw wasn't on point. Turned the Jets back on, able to get to second safely. That's aggressive hitting and even more aggressive base running. Now Lesley has Morales at 2, that runner in scoring position. This is a great chance for them to put another run on board and choke any life out of this Cobleskill team.
Pitch from Barbera, ripped away by Christian McElroy. McElroy, excuse me. Be a 1-1 count. See, Raymond Morales on second, another very speedy player. Someone to watch out for as he takes quite the lead off of second base. He's looking to fool Barbera here. It's Gutierrez right behind him, just trying to shadow him as much as possible. Oh, that's 1-1 count, excuse me. First pitch was a ball. Wind up from Barbera. Nearly destroyed by McElroy, but a 1-2 count.
That was a beautiful off-speed pitch from Barbera. That one had some wicked movement on it.
Another big lead off for Morales. That one ripped away over the studio, clanging off the bleachers. As the count remains 1-2, good battle here for McElroy. Really making Barbera work on the mound.
Not only making Barbera work on the mound, it's elevating his pitch count, and Cobleskill is already one pitcher in to their relief system. So you knock out Barbera.
As that one's blooped over by McElroy. Turning the corner and sliding home is Morales. And the lead now blossoms to 4 for Lesley. And great placement by McElroy on that hit. The second baseman Lansing looking to track it down, but cannot get to it in time.
Yeah, now it's a 4-0 lead for Lesley. And all of a sudden, this Cobleskill lineup looks like there's barely any life.
And Brandon with the bomb earlier in this inning. Not who you want to see, and was hit by a pitch as well in his second time out on the plate. And keep in mind, Lesley did not achieve 4 runs until around the top of the 5th inning in the game against Thomas. So already in great position here to extend the lead even more. Thought about it, but it's strike number 1. 1-1 count for Brandon. That home run for Brandon earlier today was his 4th on the year, making number 15 for his career. Just adding on to his immaculate tenure here is the graduate student from Manhattan Beach, California.
Represent.
Swing and a miss for 1-2 count. McElroy still on first. Looks like these Lesley hitters are getting a bit more of a feel for Balbera. He tries to surprise McElroy. Nothing happening there.
Yeah, pretty soon Cobleskill is going to have to warm up another pitcher. Obviously, it's not great that Scott got knocked around early, took him out in the 3rd inning. Now Balbera is starting to get knocked around. Obviously did a great job getting out of that bases loaded jam, but now he's given up a run. There's another runner on first, still only 1 out.
Balbera,
Not good.
2-2 against Brandon. And ripped in there, caught him looking. Beyblades that one in for out number 2. And a chance to take the Cobleskill Tigers out of this inning and potentially get some runs on the board. So you got some Aerosmith now playing in this. Playing at the Wicked Sports Complex. Not very shy to stray away from to stay on a certain variety. They mix it up with the playlist here for every sport.
And we get rap, and then all of a sudden the rap turns into 80s dad rock. All of a sudden 80s dad rock turns into 90s grunge, which turns into Post Malone country.
Which then turns into Johnny Cash or Michael Jackson or Elvis Presley. Maybe some James Brown, you never know. There's never a set playlist here at Husson University. Every sport is different. So, 0-1 count for Colin McCarthy. Capturing every angle of this game is the one and only Trended with Photos, ensuring that every team and every player is getting their own personal shots. You can follow them at Trended with Photos on Instagram. Very solid work out there on the bleachers. Captures every individual emotion and feeling of every game. Just essentially the pinnacle for being a photographer.
Do you think he's better than another photographer we might know?
I'd say it's 1A and 1B. I mean, it's like a Jordan LeBron bait. You can never go wrong with either. So McCarthy looks away at that one. 1-2 count. We have so many talented photographers here at Husson University. Shout out Eric Ogden as well. Phenomenal work in any sport that he does. His football photos, basketball photos in particular, were spectacular this year. Now 1-2 count for McCarthy. As Balberas has tried to catch McElroy on first base. Tries it again. Staying safe. Well, Balbera is just trying his best to catch McElroy off guard, but nothing happening there.
That's what's cool about Husson University. We have students taking photos of games that Husson isn't even a part of. And obviously you and I are Husson students. We're calling a game that Husson isn't even a part of. Really cool.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to do that earlier this year. University of Maine, Presque Isle, University of Maine, Farmington going at it in basketball this year in a double overtime game, which was one of the most exciting games we have ever called. I think it might be my favorite game I've ever called of all time. That was just a back and forth masterclass between two very talented teams.
Yeah, Dylan Griffin with game-winning shot with under 2 seconds left. Phenomenal as that is ripped.
McCarthy rips it, tracking it down. The left fielder can't get it. Turning the bases, McElroy. That'll bring in a run. And the Lynx have found their rhythm throughout these last few innings. It was Ferment in left field trying to track it down, but he could knock it under in time. As Owen Gallagher steps up to the plate. And so far, you got to be thinking that despite the fact that you took a loss to Thomas, so far, today was a pretty good day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're up 5-0 early here against Cobleskill. And it's only a good day because so far they're on track to play for tomorrow.
Yeah, but you also got to remember with a team like Cobleskill, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself as well. Cannot let a team like this get back into a game.
Yeah, you have to stay clean defensively.
It's Barbera with a runner on second, facing off with Gallagher. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. 0-2 hold now for Owen Gallagher.
And there's another pitcher warming up for Cobleskill.
And no mercy rule in all 9 innings will be played. So trying to keep pitchers on the mound will be crucial. Try not to go through your lineup too deep, especially if you win. And that one's cracked away. The count remains 0-2. Yeah, you can't really say Cobleskill claws their way back into this game. You know, if you expend too many of your pitchers, you might not have very many fresh per se people in your bullpen in order to keep playing, or in order to deliver a solid performance. Nonetheless, if any team can do it, it is this very solid Cobleskill team. Gallagher again remaining very efficient, very aggressive in the batter's box. Just making Barbera work for every single pitch. McCarthy still on second. As we know, up 5-0 in this top of the 4th. McCarthy get off for a minute. Decided to go back. Now decides to extend the lead off a little bit more. Gutierrez and Lansing right behind him. Gallagher rips it up the third base line. Foul ball. Good battle here between Barbera and Gallagher. As the lights continue to shine here at the Lincoln Sports Complex, make it a nice view of the trees in the background. And this beautiful sky looking like a Bob Ross painting. Barbera winds up. Swing and a miss for Gallagher. And 1 run scored for Lesley as they extend their lead to 5. The Fighting Tigers a chance once again to put some points on the board. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 4th. Here we are, bottom of the fourth. Logan Ferment, the left fielder, stepping up to the plate for his second at-bat of the evening.
And down 5, it's gut check time for Cobleskill. They need a spark soon to stay competitive in this game. You know, after...
And a great rip right there from Ferment. Right on cue, Xander. You know, the doctor needed to write a prescription, and Logan Ferment just cashed it out right there.
So far, Ferment is the only one doing any damage hitting-wise for this Cobleskill lineup. He's 2 for 2 on the night with an extra base hit. Like I was saying, Cobleskill survived that bases-loaded jam, but they couldn't maintain any rhythm pitching-wise after that due to fatigue and command issues from Barbera, and that was mainly because Lesley showed resilience after stranding 3 runners on third. They tacked on 2 more in the fourth, which is a big response. Now the momentum is firmly on their side, and they're not just getting on base, they're cashing in. They're getting clutch performances from across the lineup right now.
And definitely what you like to see if you are head coach Corey Mercier, excuse me. Out of the performance you had against the Terriers, which was not bad by any means, but the Terriers just came out with a game plan and executed it flawlessly. When you already have a 5-0 lead, which, like we said already, it took them nearly to the 5th inning to get any runs on the board. That one home run by James Brandon really opened the game up for the Lynx, and so far they haven't looked back. But a great hit by Ferment in this bottom of the fourth can really turn the tide here, depending on how Morales is challenged by the rest of these batters. As this will be Lorilla back into the batter's box. And you can hear both teams getting very vocal right now.
I can hear Cobleskill a lot right now.
Yeah, they understand the position they're in. I think Logan Ferment, that hit by Ferment really just kind of sparked their spirits once again. And that's definitely what you need.
Yeah, keep being vocal. You're down 5. Become fearless with it.
Swing and a miss. My Lorilla.
It's a back and forth chirping debate over here.
Yeah, and that could definitely rattle you in more ways than one, especially on the mound. Depending on what's being said, obviously the umpire will not allow anything too crazy. As Lorilla gets caught looking by Morales, and a quick strikeout for Raymond Morales once again. Now first baseman Cole Platt. A chance to potentially advance for men. Ferment goes. Platt blasts that one to left field. Try to get under it, and a great catch. But the left fielder, Hobart, tracked it down like a German shepherd and made that play look easy. So now 2 outs. Ferment stays on first. It was a great hit by Platt. But Keaton Hobart, exceptional at tracking those balls down.
And that's a tough break for Cobleskill. You look like you just hit a monster hit to go extra bases, only for Hobart to showcase his speed out there in left field, able to track the ball down, secure that second out, and then Ferment had to go back from second to first because of it.
Ferment's back on the first, 2 outs, 0-1 hole. Oh, to Hobart in left field once again, and 2 straight hits to Hobart, and he nabs them both. Man, Keaton Hobart making them pay right now in left field, as there's still a big goose egg for the Fighting Tigers as we head to the top of the 5th. Top of the fifth, set to get underway. Lesley still holding Cobleskill scoreless with a 5-0 lead here as Caden Schott steps into the office once again.
And holding Cobleskill scoreless through 4 innings just showcases the strong command and great defense behind the mound for Lesley. And in this inning, this is an opportunity to break the bank. A few more runs here could make the lead insurmountable.
And that first pitch by Barbera was a beauty. Had Schott second guessing, and just like that, caught him swinging for strike number 2. Barbera having a pretty solid night on the mound, all things considered. That one a bit outside. Great reflexes from Lorillo, the catcher. If you're just joining us, these two teams lost their respective first matchups today. Cobleskill was defeated by your Eagles of Husson University, and the Lynx were defeated by the Terriers of Thomas College. Hence why they are playing in this game tonight. The loser of this game will be going home, and the winner will be facing the loser of Husson and Thomas in the coming days. There's Barbera. A shot from Caden Schott right to the left fielder and nabbed down. Easy peasy for Logan Ferment. Got right under it and a quick out for the Fighting Tigers. Now Colby Jacobs looking to bring the boom as he steps his way back into the batter's box. Do you think that AJ and Big Justice could sue for that song? Because they kind of trademarked the word "boom" pretty much, if you think about it.
If anything, the owner of that song can sue AJ and Big Justice.
That's kind of fair, yeah. If anything, they could benefit from each other. As that one's cracked away by Colby Jacobs, right into left field once again, and they're making Ferment work out there. And a quick single after the fly out. Man, we are just all over the place with this music today.
I'll tell you what, that single showed Jacobs clicking there.
Amen to that. Jacobs with quite the lead off. As he takes off for second, Lorilla trying to catch him, and he is safe.
Ooh.
And Gutierrez cannot believe it. He thought that he had Jacobs there hook, line, and sinker, but nonetheless.
I was Lansing out there.
Yep, Lansing, you're right.
And I was just as shocked as he was. I thought he got the tag down.
And nonetheless, the umpires will mark Jacobs safe. Now, a bit of a better position for Cal Caruso in order to potentially bring Jacobs in for a run. Barbera trying to make him work. That one cracked into right field. And getting under it. Under it was Sorta. But Jacobs tags up and reaches third. Now we have 2 outs. And a prime chance for Keenan Hobart to bring in a run. Here's Sorta with the incredible play in right field. Nonetheless, it will be Jacobs advancing to third. And Hobart a big chance to bring in a run here to extend the lead even more. Just a bit high, ball number 1. Pitch by Barbera. That one ripped into center field. Going back for it was Dikorsky, and he makes the nab and ends the inning for the Fighting Tigers. Still 5-0 as we come to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the fifth, Lesley and Cobleskill. Score has not changed. Still 5-0 for the Lynx. It's Christian Tedford back into the batter's box. Takes a crack at that one. Misses everything. 0-1.
Morales through 4 shutout innings so far. He's mixing speeds well. He's getting ahead in counts. He has been dominant.
That one blew over to McElroy, over to Brandon, and an easy out for the Lynx. And a quick one at that. Now David Flora, who as Andrew mentioned was hitless in that game against the Eagles of Husson. And his second appearance in the box tonight. Let's see if he can kind of change the momentum here for the Fighting Tigers. As he rips that one to right field. And that's got to feel good. Oh, wait, they're going for it. And just a bit too far for Brandon. Man, Caruso immediately just told Brandon to stay at first. Nonetheless, Flora gets his first hit of the evening.
And that's big. Not only for him, but for Cobleskill. Their offense has been flat so far. They're still searching for that breakthrough hit, and they need base runners in any way possible, whether it's through walks, bunts, hit by pitches, base hits. Finally get that base hit there, but he's not in scoring position. And Cobleskill's pitching is stabilized for now. I mean, they didn't let Lesley get any runs on board in the top 5th inning. So that's a small win for them, but their offense has to reward them for it.
Lesley tried to drop the bunt and nearly had Flora at first, but got back in the nick of time.
And this is the inning for Cobleskill. This is a must-score inning for them, or at least a high-traffic inning if they want to avoid slipping into desperation mode in a sense, heading into the 6th.
That one ripped to right field. Trying to get under it. Nearly nabbed by the right fielder Caruso. Man, that would have been a Sports Center top 10 play if he made that catch.
Would have been back-to-back. He tried to throw over to first to get Flora out on his base hit. Couldn't get it in time. And then barely missed that catch. That would have been sick.
That would have been some Mario Super Sluggers level play. Diving forward in the outfield. As Flora remains on first. 0-2 count now for Ryan Lansing. I'm sure Flora on first base is thinking, thank you, after that hit. As that one goes back to Hobart in left field, and he gets under it once again. Keenan Hobart has had 3 balls hit his way, and he's gotten all 3 of them with an out. And we normally see him in right field, but today, playing in left, he has showcased how versatile he is.
And that's one of those where you just have to just clap your hands. I mean, Hobart has been exceptional all night out there in left field. Big reason why this score is still a goose egg for Cobleskill.
And just like that, was number 5, Jeffrey Gutierrez. A beautiful hit. Pass between the third baseman and shortstop. And now advances Flora to second. 2 runners on now. And now we're at the top of your batting order, Xander. This could be potentially problematic for the Lynx.
Yeah, we're in the top of the batting order, but Lesley still has those 2 outs. It's going to be tough for Cobleskill to get anything going down to their last out this inning. But they have to score right here. This is an absolutely must score here. Have to capitalize. You have a runner in scoring position. You have another runner on first. This is your best chance all game to get something going.
0-1 count for the batter here. For Dudikorsky. Outside for ball number 1. Yeah, to your point, I mean, top of the order, obviously some of your better batters coming up on deck, but nonetheless, those 2 outs make it very difficult for any team to kind of climb out of. As Morales catches Dudikorsky looking, strike number 2. Morales goes for it. Just a tad outside for ball number 2. 2-2 count now for Zach Dikorsky. See, Morales can get them out of the inning here and prevent yet another scoreless inning for the Fighting Tigers. Or Dikorsky can make some magic happen and swipe that ball into the field for a potential run. As he floats that one up to right center. Flora turning the corner. He's going to go for it. They got Gutierrez on at third. He's safe there, and Flora is safe at home. So that's a great hit by Dikorsky, drives in a run, and Cobleskill finally tacking on some points.
And that is big for Cobleskill, finally able to notch their first run of the night. It's now the bottom 5th inning. So now you have the runners on the corner still with 2 outs. Now you have Furman up to the plate, who's 2 for 2 on the night himself. He has that runner in scoring position. This can go back to just a 3-run lead for Lesley here.
Runners on first and third. Ferment rivals that one away. Over the stands and over the dugout for strike number 1. Morales with the windup. And beams for men. Now bases are juiced. And you've got the catcher Lorilla stepping up to the plate.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they have talk on the mound. Yep, that's what's happening. You have a bases loaded situation. Unfortunate timing, too, because you've been in control all night. Now out of nowhere, one swing of the bat from Lorilla here can tie up this game.
And Morales has been a little bit more cautious with his pitches, which has allowed Cobleskill to get some very solid hits and bring in Flora for that run. Now bases all juiced up, and with Lorilla, a very solid batter as well. Batting .372 this year. Can definitely make some magic happen, and the Tigers will look to pounce on that opportunity. Lorilla also looking to add on to his tally of 25 RBIs this year.
And I like keeping Morales out there on the mound. He has showed awesome composure out there tonight. Keep him in. He's only allowed 1 run. If anyone can escape this jam, it's him. Yeah, he's gotten himself in the jam, but he can get himself out of it.
As you mentioned, his ability to just change speed and maintain a level head throughout games is his best quality as a player. Does not get bothered by anything. Lorella pops that one up. Getting under it is Brandon. He's going to look for it, and he does. Man, a great way to end the inning for the Lynx. They turned that situation into a very good blessing, and now they lead by 4 going in to the 6th. Morales will lead off again in this top of the sixth. Lesley leading Cobleskill 5-1. And we have a pitcher change for the Fighting Tigers. It's number 22, Tyler Cienko, the sophomore out of Binghamton, New York. This year with a 20.1 IP. It's 16 strikeouts.
And Cobleskill was finally able to get on board. Breaking that shutout is a big mental lift. They're now in the game, but leaving the bases loaded.
And what a great play by Flora. Zips it over to Platt and gets hit Morales at first. Man, what a great heads-up play by Flora. And a sweet out for the Tigers. That's a big one, too.
Yeah, it is. That was a tremendous play over at third by Flora. Beautiful throw, too. But as I was saying, leaving the bases loaded for the first time, that's costly. That could have been a game-changing inning for Cobleskill, but they walk away with just one. Sort of like frustration. Can't even speak. Frustration versus hope right now.
As McElroy gets the bunt. Beautiful placement. Flora again tried to track it down, that time without success. And McElroy continues that on to his pretty good night. And bringing in a new pitcher in the top of the sixth is definitely a bit of a smart move, because if you're the Lynx, you haven't seen this pitcher before. I mean, you see him during warm-ups, but you're not used to his patterns. And it can take a little getting used to. As James Brandon back up to the plate. This is definitely the guy you want to see at the plate if you are Lesley. Check the swing. Pull back last second for ball number one. Cienko with the pitch. It's a little low for Brandon for a 2-0 count. You think that's smart, trying to keep it low against a batter like Brandon?
Oh, I think anyone would try to keep it low. He had a home run in the first. Really set the tone for Lesley. And they've been in command ever since that moment. Played a little bend, but don't break last inning. They loaded up the bases, but Morales showed his composure, escaped out of the jam.
Now a 3-0 count for Brandon. Very much ahead here in this battle with Cienko. See if you can crack a shot here. That one right down the middle for strike number one. Christian McElroy on first. Turn on the Jets off that bunt attempt. He was able to secure himself on an island at first base. Bit of a short lead off here. As that one's ripped by Brandon. Trying to get under it is the left fielder, Furman, but just could not get there in time. Man, almost saw a bit of a repeat from that first inning.
Yeah, had that been fair, would have been caught by Furman. Obviously, it was short of the track out there. But had that have been gone, on the other hand, that would have put the game away for sure.
Cienko catches Brandon looking, and that's a big out for the Fighting Tigers. So now have 2 outs and a chance to halt any more base runners and hits for the Lynx. As McCarthy sits back up into the plate.
And McCarthy in that fourth inning had that double RBI. 1 of 2 on the night, including a walk.
Ball high for Colin McCarthy. McCarthy's had a pretty good stretch of these last couple games. Had a big hit against Thomas earlier today, which brought them back into the game, only down by 3. Of course, could not get the job done, but still a very respectable showing nonetheless. Thought about the swing. 1-1 for McCarthy. Doesn't take too much of the batter's box. Kind of a relatively thin stance for McCarthy. He likes to cock that bat back, excuse me. Looked away at that one for strike number 2. One more for Cienko, and could put Cobleskill in a very good position here. Potentially get some more runs on the board.
Yeah, that offense is walking a fine line right now. Able to put 1 run across the board. Nothing after that.
Count 2-2 now for McCarthy. McElroy still relaxing out there on first. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw him take off for second at any point, depending on how much longer this battle goes on for. So he gets back onto first after the check by Cienko. Count 2-2, 2 outs, top of the 6th. If you're just joining us, Lesley has held a pretty solid lead over the Fighting Tigers. As that one's popped up, calling it away, and getting under it was Flora on third base. Man, that was so close. McElroy got a little bit greedy there, trying to cut to second. He thought he missed the play, but nonetheless, Flora turned what could have been a very bad situation into something good. And on that note, folks, it'll take us to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. Back from the bottom of the 6th. Cole Platt steps back into the office here. Last time he was up, he rifled it over to left field, but it was caught by Keenan Hobart, who, as we've talked about throughout this broadcast, has had a very solid showing in this game against SUNY Cobleskill. Morales stays on the mound. Platt swinging for the fences there. Got nothing but a breeze.
Now Cobleskill is down, but not out. Able to get that 1 run across the board. Obviously, that's big, and they've silenced the Lesley batters in the top of the 6th and the top of the 5th. So the pitching has been on point. It's time for the bats to follow through. They want to keep that dugout screaming and yelling, getting in the ears of Lesley, trying to create any mental mistakes. But your dugout can't get loud if you're not producing anything.
Platt will stay in there facing the 1-2 count. Was ultra aggressive, going for that swing once again. A very aggressive batter is Cole Platt. That time, whomping it up the third base line. Morales has been worked throughout this game, but he is showing very good resilience and stamina on the mound tonight. He's now buckled once. Swing and a miss by Platt. Morales continues that on to what has been a very solid night of pitching the baseball tonight.
Yeah, Morales hasn't let any mistakes come up. He's been tremendous out there. He's gone almost 6 full innings of only allowing 1 run. Phenomenal.
Played shortstop in the game against Thomas earlier today and was very, very solid in the field. As now Jesus Sorda up to the plate in an 0-1 count. A bit high, for the liking of the umpire, 1-1. Sorta the junior out of Colony, New York. Not too much action here for him tonight in the batter's box. Checks the swing, but results in strike number 2. Pitch by Morales. High up into the stratosphere. And coming away with the nab is McElroy. So a quick 2 outs on 2 batters for Morales and the Lynx. And with Tedford up once again, has not had a lot of success in the batter's box. A chance to go 1-2-3 here, Xander.
It's a huge 1-2-3 as well if it does happen.
Swung and missed by Tedford. 0-1. Safe to say that Raymond Morales on the mound today has been very bad to the bone, to say the least.
He is bad.
Bad. It's another swing and a miss by Tedford. Oh, and 2. 2 outs for Lesley. Swing and a miss, drop through a strike. Tedford takes off to first base. And he's safe. Man, the catcher, McCarthy, nearly got him there at the plate. Nonetheless, great speed by Tedford. Now David Flora, who's got that hit at his last at bat, which kind of sparked a little bit of a boost for the Fighting Tigers. So let's see if we can kind of repeat that success right here, right now. Far outside. Strike number 1. Bit of a leadoff for Tedford. Strike number 2 for Flora. 0-2 hole. Morales a chance to put the inning away.
Not only put the inning away, sends these Cobleskill batters into desperation mode heading into the 7th inning.
One of those strikes was called back as a ball instead. It was a 2-1 count for David Flora. Would not be surprised if Flora just completely walloped the ball just deep into right center. As that one's blooped high up near right center. Getting under is the right fielder, but missed by Cal Caruso. Turning the corner is Tedford. Flores safe at second. And just like that, Xander, a bit of momentum now on the side for the Tigers off the error for Lesley.
I just cannot believe I witnessed that. What was that?
Just a bit of miscommunication by it was Jacobs and Caruso.
And McElroy.
And McElroy as well. All three of them went towards the ball. Nobody really called out for it. It seemed like the last second it was Caruso who decided to make an attempt at the ball, but it just dropped down.
That's crazy. So they had a chance to get out of this inning, stick with a 4-run lead. Now it's just a 3-run lead, and Cobleskill still has that runner in scoring position. That is a bad mistake out there in the outfield.
Not just any runner, David Flora as well, who is exceptionally quick when running the bases. Has an on-base percentage of 45% on the year. As Ryan Lansing lets that one go.
Just like that, Sam. Fighting Tigers clawing their way back. This used to be a 5-0 game, now 5-2.
Got to play chess, not checkers. Play towards the long game.
Exactly, that lifeline slowly beeping.
Just a little high for Morales. 2-1 count. Morales, as we mentioned, has been pitching nearly 7 full innings.
Have you ever seen the movie Hancock with Will Smith?
I don't believe I have.
Well, shame on you for one, because that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Well,
as there's a deep drive for Lansing, getting underneath it is Hobart, going back for it, and once again, Keenan Hobart, the incredible hustle play, ends the inning for the Lynx, and man, that was a huge one too.
Wow, he just robbed another run. That is insane. As I was saying though, in this movie, Sam, Hancock and his ex-wife, it's a superhero-based film, but the ex-wife was like dying, so he went outside, and anytime he jumped and landed on the ground, it'd spark a heartbeat. And that to me is sort of Cobleskill in this game with those 2 runs, slowly getting a heartbeat. So Lesley now, that was my whole point of this story, just to...
That's a great point as well.
It reminded me of that. It's to best describe Cobleskill. So Lesley now, they have to eliminate that heartbeat, try to send this into a closeout game.
It's kind of ironic how this song started playing, because after that great inning, the Cobleskill Fighting Tigers definitely are still standing, heading into the top of the 7th here, and it'll be very interesting to see how they can respond and see if they can keep Lesley off the bases here.
You should definitely watch Hancock, by the way.
I think I might want to get home tonight. Either that or just watch. Probably the other. I have not caught up with the Salt Lake City documentary either. I might watch that.
I
too.
saw that. That looks really good.
It's, from what I've seen, absolutely incredible.
I was getting chills watching the previews.
Yeah, same with Winning Time, the show about the Lakers and their dynasty in the 80s. That was a great show. Yeah, John C. Reilly is Jerry Buss. Got to go check it out. Such a great actor, such a great show.
They've been on it with the sports documentaries in general.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they just released a Red Sox version, I believe, on Netflix, and I've heard great things about that one as well.
I would not be surprised. Seeing go back on the mound, and Gallagher, the shortstop in this game, played second in that game against Thomas. Back up into the office. So you hold a bit of the Lynx momentum in that last inning. So let's see if the Fighting Tigers can muster up a bit more ferocity and get themselves out of this inning without any runs scored. Man, beautiful pitch from Cienko. He goes 1-1. And cracked by Gallagher. Flora nearly got it once again with a diving play. I mean, a great start for the Lynx. Gallagher has been that kind of player whenever they need a run to put some mojo back into their system, you can do it in a heartbeat. This Caden shot now. He walled it over to left field. Tried to track the bunt down. Nearly had Gallagher at first. Nonetheless, 1-0. Single in the windup. Bunted up. Flora trying to track it down. Same with Lorilla. Just a bit too far for them both. Results in a 1-1 count. Man, I would have been surprised if Flora decided just to dive at it once again, seeing how he's done so a couple times throughout this game. Looks like we have an equipment adjustment for Lorilla, the catcher. So play resumes. Runner still on first. No outs. 1-1 count. And they're really trying to go at Gallagher on first base. Thought about it again. That time, nothing happening. Caden Shaw just patiently awaits the pitch from Tyler Sienko. Take a look at the lead off. As Gallagher's going for it, Lorilla rifles it over. Not enough juice. And Gallagher is safe at second. Looks like some of the fans are calling for an interference on that play. Thinking that shot was in the batter's box when Lorilla got rid of it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get anything out of that. Either way, I love the aggressive base running from Lesley right now. You're letting the lead slip away. Get back that momentum. Put any thoughts of hope from Cobleskill to rest.
And especially when you got someone like Schott who delivered in a big way earlier in this game, making his life a little bit easier when you're able to advance without any problems. So he goes to lay down the bunt. As there was so they're going to wave that bunt off as a foul at first. So it'll be a 2-2 count for Schott. The umpire looks like the umpires are going to discuss it here. I just have a feeling that whatever the umpires call it here, someone's just not going to be happy about it.
No one's ever happy.
Everybody just needs to be happy sometimes. If people gave more hugs in the world, it might be a happier place. Come on, get happy, man. Don't worry, be happy. So they're going to resume play. They will attack on the foul. So it'll be a 2-2 count for a Caden Schott. Noah Gallagher still on second. Winder from Sienko. Ripped away by Schott. Just clangs off the bleachers here. With a good fight in the batter's box between Schott and Sienko. That one popped up near left center. Getting under it is the shortstop Gutierrez. And he makes the nab. Keeps Gallagher on second. Now Colby Jacobs a chance to potentially bring Gallagher home.
Whenever you hear the song, I think of that old Kobe Bryant commercial. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
When he slides into his living room and he starts like lip syncing the song.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
One of the best ads of all time. So it looks like they walked.
They walked Jacobs.
They walked Jacobs. So they got Cal Caruso now up to the plate. Runner on second and on first. So interesting strategy there. As Caruso rips that one to left field. Gallagher turns the corner, and that's going to bring in a run. Man, I'm a little interested as to why they decided to walk Jacobs. Nonetheless, it results in a single for Caruso and another score for the Lynx.
Yeah, I mean, Jacobs was only 1 of 2 heading up to that appearance with his only hitting a single. So you intentionally walk him. I get Caruso was 0 for 3 prior to that single. Still, it was an odd choice to intentionally walk Jacobs, and Caruso made them pay because of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a decision that could come back to bite them depending on how much the scores run up.
They're trying to set up a double play opportunity, thinking to themselves, oh, Caruso's 0 for 3. He'll probably give us that great chance at a double play. Still, not a chance I would have taken there.
It's going to have some personnel changes as well for the Fighting Tigers. It looks like they're sending Lansing to right field. A bit more of a feel of the situation shortly. I think we have another pitching change as well for the Fighting Tigers. Yep, it will be number 7, Dukorski, coming from center field. Interesting change here for the Fighting Tigers. We'll see him get warm. Yep, so Lansing will go from center field to second. And number 19, Tedford, will be at shortstop now. Which means Gutierrez will take a rest. Interesting personnel change here for the Fighting Tigers. See how it pays dividends facing a 4-run hole here in the top of the 7th.
I believe Lansing is in right field.
Yep, Lansing will be in center field.
Center field, yeah. So, obviously replacing Dukorski over there.
So play will resume after the warm-ups from Dukorski. So it looks like Tedford will be going to third. And Flora will take second base now. So Gutierrez will stay out on shortstop.
Interesting changes.
Maybe it's just what the doctor ordered. I mean, maybe just switch things up a little late in the game just to kind of throw off the view of the batters. Pitch from Dikorsky. Low and away for ball number 3. 3-0 count now for Keaton Hobart, who hitting-wise has not done too much for the Lynx tonight, but has been an absolute force in left field. And man, that one just inside strike number 1. I thought he was going for a walk there, but nonetheless, the umpire says strike number 1. Hitters count now for Keaton Hobart. And a walk for Hobart there takes him to first base, and now bases are juiced. And stepping up to the plate, the man himself, Raymond Morales, having himself a phenomenal game, both hitting and pitching tonight for Lesley. The ball a bit wild and high right for ball number 1. Bases juiced, and Morales, who's had quite a bit of success at the plate today. See if he can drive in some runs here, kind of put this game a little bit more out of reach for SUNY Cobleskill. Rifles that one up the third base, past the third baseman, and drives in a run. And just like that, Morales coming up crucially for his team once again.
Now it's a 7-2 ball game. Lesley back on top by 5. And now you're starting to think they're going to run away with it now.
Lesley at the top of their order, so following Morales is McElroy. Trying to rip that one. Nothing happening for strike number 1. This is Juice McElroy again, having himself a pretty solid game as well. See if he can bring in even more runs. Thought about the bond, but pulled back just in time to get his first ball. And this is pretty big. So you got McElroy up now, and you have James Brandon on deck. So they'll be driving some runs. McElroy slams that one to left field. That's going to bring in not 1, but 2 runners for Lesley. And just like that, the lead is now up to 7 for the Lynx as they lead 9-2.
And that just might be the nail in the coffin. McElroy now 3 of 5 on the night. A double, 3 RBIs. Incredible hitter. Definitely the player of the game if they hold on offensively, that is.
The Lynx look like a much different team with Black Betty, Ram Malam playing in the background. Brandon scoops that one up over to Tedford. They'll get Brandon at first. Morales thought about it, but decided to pull back last second. McCarthy back into the batter's box yet again. As the Lynx have really found their groove here. It seems like they figured out Dikorsky pretty quickly and have taken advantage of such. Low and outside for the first ball. So McElroy on second, Morales at third. So yet again, more scoring opportunity for McCarthy. As that one's ripped into right field. That's going to drop down. Here comes Morales.
Oh,
no. McElroy turns the corner. And the Lynx, after only scoring 5 runs against Thomas, have tacked on 11 in the 7th here. Unbelievable.
They entered this inning up 3 runs, and within the flip of a switch, a 6-run inning makes it 11-2 Lynx. I mean, just phenomenal. No one would have expected an offensive outpour this inning.
It seemed like when the Cobleskill put Dikorsky on the mound, that's when things kind of took a turn for the worse there.
Exactly.
It took a while for the Lynx to figure out every other pitcher, but they've seemed to have figured out Zach Dikorsky rather quickly. Dikorsky, a very talented player in his own right, but as of right now, the Lynx have just gotten used to him pretty fast and have tacked on run after run in this inning. Man, a sweet pitch from Dikorsky, but a bit outside. 1-2 count now for Noah Gallagher. You can hear Lesley remaining as vocal as ever, despite being up 9. Outside for Gallagher again. Ball number 2. Now, Xander, if you're the Fighting Tigers, top of the 7th, still a bit of ball game left to play. But what do you think the mindset is looking like out in the field right now?
Look, you're down to your final 9 outs offensively. That's not much to work with, but we've seen the improbable become probable in some cases. I mean, for instance, no one would have thought Patriots in Super Bowl 51 would have came back 28-3, but they
Not at
did.
all.
I mean, and it wasn't even the largest comeback ever. There's a 33-point deficit from Minnesota, able to win that game. We've seen large leads in the NBA be trimmed down with ease. We've seen runs over 10 be trimmed down in the MLB.
Anything can happen here.
So, regarding your question, Sam, they got to stop looking for the big hit. They just got to focus on runs. Can't go swinging for the fences. It's time to focus on small ball opportunities here. That's your best way to claw back into this game.
Caden Shaw back at it again. Looks like we'll have another meeting on the mound. Could be another potential change. I doubt they'd do so this late in the game, and only Dikorsky's first inning pitching. But we'll see here.
And Dikorsky is not a pitcher either. This is his first pitching appearance. Cobleskill unfortunately had to go to their position players to try and finish out this game. So it's no wonder he got knocked around.
So here we are, Caden shot. Up to play with runners on first and third. Gallagher with a walk. And McCarthy with a great base hit. 1-0 count for Caden shot. Man, beautiful pitch by Dikorsky. Rips it inside for strike number 1. Swing and a miss by Shot. Outside for ball number 2, or strike number 2. So a chance for Dikorsky to get out of this inning, and another chance for Cobleskill to potentially just band-aid the bleeding a little bit. So we'll see if Dikorsky can do so. Or this miraculous inning with...
To be honest, it's not even a Band-Aid. They're down 9 runs, you know.
As that one's ripped into left field. Getting under it is a Cobleskill player, and that'll do it.
If anything, they're putting water on the wound.
Up. A 5-point run lead turned into a 9-point run lead for Lesley as some really amazing hitting had them rolling in that top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th. That last inning, the Lynx went off the rails on a crazy train and went on a great run to end that top of the 7th as Jeffrey Gutierrez faces off with Morales, who needs his longevity has been, and his stamina and endurance has been extremely good on the mound for the Lynx tonight. As he fleeces that one in for the first strike.
He has 4 strikeouts on the night, only allowed 2 runners across. Magnificent.
Chef's kiss, as one would say.
And that's what Lesley needed out of him entering tonight. It's a do-or-die game. You want your starting pitcher out there to have the best game possible, and so far Morales doing just that.
Keep in mind, in the game against Thomas, as he catches Gutierrez looking, Lesley changed their pitcher 4 times in that loss against the Terriers. But Morales has been the pitcher from point A to point B throughout the majority of this game. All 7 innings he has pitched. As he catches Gutierrez looking at that one, and Morales continues to add on to his incredible night.
That's strikeout number 5 for Morales. And he is feeling great out there. And so is that dugout. They're rowdy. After that inning, rejuvenated energy back into their veins.
Cutting a little foot loose is that Lesley dugout. Is that pitch for Dikorsky a little outside. We've seen a variety of different things in this game. We've seen a variety of position changes for the Fighting Tigers and a variety of music playing on our sound system here in between innings and for the walk-ups. It's been pretty pleasant as well. As Morales, just far and outside, ball number 2. Right now, some of the trees just glistening under the stadium lights.
We have hit the 9:15 mark on our night. I never thought trees would look so beautiful at 9:15 on a Thursday night.
Oh man, those midnight walks. Those midnight walks, when you walk by here and you see those trees, it looks absolutely beautiful. Dikorsky lays down the bunt. The ball is fair. I know it will roll out to foul. It looked fair for a brief second. So a 2-2 count here for Dikorsky. If you're just tuning in with us, we appreciate you sticking around, as this broadcast is a little personal for me, because as this is my last one for Husson University, as Xander and I are set to graduate on Saturday. It's been an absolute pleasure calling games, not only for Husson University, but for these neutral games as well.
Oh, almost got it.
Nearly capped off by Gallagher at shortstop. Man, that would have been a fantastic hustle play. But Dikorsky gets a little juice going here for the Fighting Tigers. But as I was saying, yeah, Xander and I are set to graduate. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege and a dream come true to call games, not only for the Eagles, but for these neutral teams as well. It's really added to for what has been just a truly amazing experience here at Husson University, and I cannot be happier with how it all turned out. Of course, doing it with Xander has been nothing short of some of the best memories that I've made here at Husson. So a big thank you to everybody watching at home. Big thank you to our great crew who make all this happen, and a big thank you to Xander and the rest of my colleagues who have made this experience just absolutely amazing for me.
And thank you, Sam. You are truly, truly the best in the world, and I mean that in every sense of the word. You are the best, and I just know it, man. I know it. Once you graduate, you're going to make it big. I know it.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. I'm just trying to be like you, bro. As that one is ripped by Ferment into center field. Tracking it down, a bit of a miscommunication. Brings Ferment to second. Dikorsky goes for home. And just like that, a quick run scored for the Fighting Tigers. I mean, Xander, you can never say never in this kind of situation.
Yeah, a little miscue in the outfield led to Furman reaching second and Dukorski reaching third, and then a bad throw from the outfield led to Dukorski reaching home. Now it's 11-3. We saw something similar like that, Sam, in the earlier innings with the miscue in right field with the second baseman and the center fielder with Cobleskill. Or no, it was with Lesley, and that led to a Cobleskill run.
It's Corin Lorilla. Fleeces that one near right field. He'll be going out. Stays foul ball for a strike.
Yeah, never say never.
It's Caruso in right looking to track it down, but could not get to it in time as the ball was a bit too far. Morales places it in, checks the swing, does Lorilla. No dice. It's 0-2 now. Would not be surprised if Morales can get an out here. I would not be surprised if he decided to pitch for the rest of the game. He seems like he's got that kind of pedigree where he can just keep it going for as long as he needs to.
They're up 8 runs right now. Might as well keep them in the game. Save your other arms for tomorrow when you have to play either Husson or Thomas.
He'll likely be playing a shortstop once again, as that's where he was against Thomas. That one very close, but called a ball. And I thought he had Lorilla there. Nonetheless, Lorilla stays alive. Lorilla has a very, very solid arm on him, too. We've seen him in warm-ups just completely, like, tossing meteors towards second base. As he drops the third strike. Gets Lorilla out at first. Ferment will advance to third. So 2 outs here. Morales stays on the mound. And a chance to just halt any sort of momentum that the Fighting Tigers have made in this inning. As Cole Platt had a big hit earlier today. But it was, once again, Keaton Hobart, who has had a very solid game. Maybe not as much hitting the ball, but in the field. 5 catches in the outfield today. Has been an absolute star for them in left field. Ripped inside for the first strike. Swing and a miss. Platt looked like he's going for the fences there. But now in an 0-2 hole, Morales has a chance to close the inning out.
And watch Morales' body language if they pick up this third out.
Fouled away by Platt. Stays alive in the count. So Platt 0-2 hole. Morales just keeping him on his toes. Platt doing a great job of working Morales' arm. And gets him looking with strike number 3.
And look at that. Doesn't really showcase any emotion. That's the kind of pitcher you like to have. A dude who's really, really good out there on the mound, but he doesn't showcase any emotion because he knows he is in his bag. He knows he's got this locked down. He is the silent assassin out there.
A humble player with a championship pedigree is definitely something that all teams look for. And that takes us to the bottom of the 7th, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here we are, top of the 8th. Colby Jacobs rips that over the right field. Trying to get under it. Was Platt at first. And Lansing. Nothing happening there as the ball continues to go 0-1. Jacobs in the 0-1 hole.
Ooh.
And gets bonked right on the top of the head there. And looks like another pitching change for the Tigers. Number 3, Jared Ainsworth. Seeing some action on the mound here. Cal Caruso back up to the plate. Once again, off the boop on the noggin. Now Ainsworth looking to keep Caruso on his toes here. Can make him play guessing in where that ball is going to be. Trying to find a sliding Jacobs at first base. And the arm of Lorilla can make those kind of plays happen at any given time. Great recognition by Jacobs to get back. Three 3-0 count now for Caruso. Notice how he cocks the back a lot when he's gearing up for a swing. Gets pretty low in his stance, and he keeps that bat right on his shoulder. That one inside for strike number 1. Hit his count now for Caruso. Pitch from Ainsworth. Oh, that one a little controversial there. Seemed like,
I don't think it was. I think that was just a dirty pitch.
You think so? I thought it.
I had awesome movement, able to curve back into the middle of the plate. That was just a filthy pitch.
Man, I didn't really see anything off of that. But Caruso rifles that one to right center. Trying to get under is that right fielder out there. A great heads-up play by Jesus Sarda. So it'll be Keenan Hobart again. Back up to Pitt, and it'll be the top of the order with Morales, McElroy, and Brandon. A bit low for Ainsworth. That's ball number 1. Hobart thought about it. Check last second. Brings it in for a strike. So the Fighting Tigers here can get out of the inning without letting up any more runs. They do have a chance to put some more runs on the board. But Xander, if you're the Fighting Tigers, I mean, you got a lot of ground to cover in these next 2 innings.
Yeah, they're down to their final 6 outs. That's tough. I mean, it's not often you see an 8-run comeback in the 8th inning or later. So some fans are thinking, just get on with it, hurry up and end the game. Other fans are thinking, we know our boys, if anyone can come back, they can. I understand both sides, so again, just got to focus on small ball, limit scoring opportunities for Lesley. Don't let them get another run across the board, and so far they're doing pretty well at that.
Great job by Gutierrez to fling it over to Platt on first to get Hobart out. So Jacob stays on first. Now we are back to the top of the lineup for Lesley. It'll be Raymond Morales. once again. Some Ozzy Osbourne playing in the background here. Morales rips it up the first base line, right in between first and second. Turning the corner is Jacobs. He's going to get down, and he's safe.
That was awfully close.
That one could have gone either way. I mean, it looks like Lorilla had him on the plate, but again, immaculate hustle by Jacobs, and the lead has blossomed to 9 for Lesley.
It's times like those where I really wish we had a replay system. But man, creds to Morales. That's now his 3rd hit of the night. 2 RBIs, 2 runs, and then a stolen base.
Thought about turning the corner for 3, but decided to hang up at second.
And that's just adding on to what has been an incredible journey on the mound for him tonight.
He's with waiting for the read here to make sure that he can deliver a fine pitch. That one ripped up by McElroy. Scubbed into Flora. Over to Platt for the easy out. And the big plays once again coming up clutch for Lesley as they now have a 12-3 lead going into the bottom of the 8th. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Here we are, bottom of the 8th. Lesley continuing their winning plays throughout this as Sarda wallops that one up and over the dugout into the stands and into the hands of a lucky fan over there. Man, great reflexes by that fan. Fortunately, we don't have any cameras looking out outside of the booth besides this one that we have, as you can see the stream on.
And if it's a Cobleskill fan, hey, congratulations. You have something to be happy about. You get a free ball.
Speaking of freebies, looks like they took Morales off the mound. It'll be number 4, Charles Embro, who had a brief stint in the game against Thomas, but was taken out nearly an inning later. It's now already a runner on first for the Fighting Tigers. And now riding Ryan Schuwerk, the junior from Port Ewan, New York, is is currently 0 for 3 in batting this year. He's not seen too many appearances in the batter's box. Like SUNY Cobleskill is getting really deep into their roster here. Just trying something new to potentially claw your way back into this game. Swing and a miss. Results in a strike. And Burrell rifles it in. A bit far outside. So interesting move by the Lynx to take Morales off the mound. I mean, obviously he's been pitching. He's pitched nearly 7 innings, so his arm must have been completely worn out at some point. Nonetheless, he had himself a very good showing on the mound this evening.
Probably wanting to save his arm for tomorrow out there at short.
Here's Amberell. Swing and a miss by Schuwerk. Results in a full count now. Got to respect the aggressive tendencies by Schuwerk. Trying to just find some sort of contact here. Because at this point, contact is all that matters. So he takes that one away. Stays alive in the count. (12-3), the Lesley lead over the SUNY Cobleskill Fighting Tigers. Got a runner on first due to a bean. That one ticked away again by Schuwerk. Really making Amberell work on the mound as he yet again stays alive in this count. And swing and a miss by Schuwerk. It'll be a quick out for Amberell as David Flora back up into the batter's box and a chance to really make something happen here for the Fighting Tigers. As we're building this city on rock and roll, we had a little bit of an exchange between the coach and the catcher. David Flora, who Xander mentioned, did not get a hit against Husson earlier today, but tonight already has 2 massive hits. One off an error from Lesley and one just a straight shot to right field. So let's see if we can get something cooking here. Outside for ball number 1. Away once again for the second ball. Flora remaining patient. One of his greatest virtues is his ability to remain patient in that batter's box to ensure that he only likes the pitches that he likes to see. And rip off of that time is clobbered over the fence, over the net, and over the booth. 2-1 count now. Nearly had Sarda, so they're going to advance him to second. So now runner on second, which is Sarda. Flora a chance to potentially bring him in. With 1 out here in the 2-1 count.
Good chance to spark a small rally.
As that one's ripped towards right field. Going forward is Caruso, trying to make a play. Couldn't quite get there in time. It'll be a 2-2 count now for Flora. Man, I was expecting Caruso to die for it. I nearly thought he was about to just put his body on the line and outstretch to get that ball. Nonetheless, 2-2 count for Flora. Pitcher Mambrell outside for ball number 3. And outside for ball number 4. So Flora takes first, sort of stays on second. And a chance for Lansing here to advance some runners and potentially put some points on the board.
Now there's meeting on the mound after that walk. It's already the second walk this inning for Lesley. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do out there on the mound, what the talk is about. I mean, they're already up 9 runs, so there's no real worry here. As there's fist bumps taken.
Yeah, McCarthy just probably telling his pitcher, just slow it down, just be a bit more control with your pitches. You'll be all right. We're already out, so there's no need to try to get wild here. We discussed Ryan Lansing, an opportunity here to bring in a run or two, depending on the placement of a hit. And Burrell, a bit too far past McCarthy. That'll advance Florida second and sort of the third. That's ball number 1. Now the opportunity presents itself a bit larger now with the advancement of the runners. So let's see if Lansing can make something happen here. Flora very wide off of second. 2-0 count now for Lansing. And we're looking a little bit rusty out there. Couldn't really find his release. In that first game against Thomas right now, gonna pick it up where he left off. As that one is swung on and missed by Lansing. 2-1 count. Looks like he swung so hard the bat just flew right out of his hands.
That's the epitome of trying to swing for the fences there.
I think that one scene in the bench warmers where that one guy he releases it and
Yeah.
it just puts a hole through that guy's hood.
You know, there's all this talk about Moneyball being the best baseball movie of all time. No.
You think it's the bench warmers?
100%.
Interesting.
I think it's the bench warmers.
I don't know. Field of Dreams is up there too.
I don't care. Give me bench warmers all day, every day.
Nah, there's only one right answer, and that is The Sandlot.
There's only one right answer, and it's bench warmers.
We can
I'm a comedy guy. That's why I love comedy movies, and bench warmers was hilarious.
We can agree to disagree, man. There's just something about the Sandlot's just one of those movies that are so nostalgic. It's got a nice message behind it, and it just makes you feel like a kid again. As Lansing rips that one towards the Cobleskill dugout. But I will agree, Benchwarmers is absolutely hilarious, though.
So funny.
Doesn't get better than David Spade, Rob Schneider, and John Heater as an all-star cast. Here's Ambrell. Lansing just remaining strong in the count, really making Ambrell work it. Here we are, full count. Ambro's pitch, swing and a miss. And that's got to feel good for Ambro, his first strikeout of the night. And gets the Lynx one out closer to halting any runs by the Tigers. And then this would be big for the Lynx. It seemed like after Ambro's shaky start to this inning, if you can get a 1-2-3 or just an out here by the defense, that could really take the wind out of your sails if you're SUNY Cobleskill.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he started with the walk to Sarda, had a strikeout, and then another walk to Flora, and then got that strikeout on Lansing. So it's been ball, strikeout, ball, strikeout. Who knows? Maybe this will be ball and then strikeout.
Doing his best Gus Bus impression there.
Ambro winds out. And a big stop by Brandon. He's going to throw it over to Ambro, and that'll take the Lynx out of the inning. Man, great hustle play by Ambro. Great dedication by Brandon. Stopped the ball with his body, and they halt the momentum of the Fighting Tigers. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 8th. Here we are, top of the 9th, folks, with 1 minute to go. The Fighting Tigers will get one more chance when they get out of this inning. And they got to go through James Brandon first, who really opened up this game for the Linksander with an absolute bomb to left field.
Yeah, set the tone early on, and there's no looking back ever since that moment.
Yeah, the difference between these teams is, no pun intended, night and day. Earlier today, the Lynx they just seemed a little overmatched by the intensity of the Terriers. They fought back briefly, but the Terriers were able to just continuously go on more runs and gather some consistent hits. But in this game, it's been entirely different. The Lynx have been in full control since that home run from Brandon, and like you said, have just not looked back ever since. That one destroyed over the Cobleskill dugout. 0-2 count now for James Brandon. Looking like a little Benny the Jet-esque right there with that hit. High and away. Ball number 1.
Wonder if he has electric boots on there. Or electric shoes.
Electric shoes.
Electric boots. Yeah, that's the lyric, electric boots. He's got electric boots.
That one ripped over to left field. Man, that thing won't just put a dent in your windshield. It might take out your whole mirror. The amount of velocity behind those hits from Brandon. Stays alive in the count, 2-2. That one popped up near right center. Getting under it is Sarda. Calls him away, but misses the catch. Once again, Brandon turns the corner for second base. And it's held up there, and Manzander, that just kind of sums up the kind of night that the Fighting Tigers have had.
It really has. I mean, with all credit to Sarda over there in right field, that was a towering shot into the night sky. It's hard to see that baseball. You don't see it until it comes down from under the lights, and when you do, it is almost like right in front of you within a half second. It's so hard to track those down.
Here we are with Colin McCarthy. Brandon, big lead off on second. High for ball number 1. McCarthy with the almost matrix-like reflexes to avoid that pitch coming towards his head for ball number 2. Ripped over into center field. Getting underneath that is number 5, Gutierrez. Very quick out for the Fighting Tigers. Says McCarthy back to the dugout. And Noah Gallagher steps up to the plate once again. Man, this song brings back some memories. And if we have any old WWE fans watching us right now, if you've watched Monday Night Raw between 2008 to 2012 to 13, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I unfortunately have no idea what you're talking about.
Man,
I was more of an NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL guy.
You really missed out on those golden days of WWE, man. John Cena, Rey Mysterio. As that one's clobbered toward left field. Getting underneath it, and a great catch by the left fielder, Firmer. He's had a couple of those in this game. Now 2 quick outs for Cobleskill, and then they'll have a chance to potentially go on a 9 to tack on 9 runs to tie this game. Not entirely out of the question. But yeah, those who missed out on those old WWE days really just didn't know what they were missing. Prime John Cena, prime Randy Orton, prime Rey Mysterio. Does not get any better than that.
I can think of a few things better than that.
Yeah, besides the bench warmers.
Well, I was going to say, calling these games with you.
That's corny.
I was trying to be sentimental, and that's how you take it. I hate you.
It's the way you said it like Jason Tatum after you won the finals, bro. We did it! Don't worry, homie. I got you. It's the way you said that and the face you made just really sent me. You know what? It's the
I can't even replicate it.
I can't even look at you and do it, man. Oh man. What fun. What fun, man. Gonna miss these days so much.
I know.
That one ripped by Shot. Flung over by Gutierrez, and a great stretch by Platt to end the inning. And the Fighting Tigers in a great position here, folks. Do you believe in faith? We're about to find out right here on the bottom of the ninth when we come back. Bottom of the ninth in our final inning in this one. Xander, if you're the Fighting Tigers right now, what you need to do is just get some good hits and just have faith in the fact that your team is going to pull out what could be the most miraculous comeback in NAC tournament history.
And I like how you said it, have faith. It reminds me of the movie Life of Pi, and it's sort of ironic. They're the Fighting Tigers, and Pi had a Bengal tiger on that canoe. And the moral of the movie was faith versus logic. Now, the logic here tells us this game is over with. Lesley's going to come out on top. But at the same time, it also left, it's up to the viewers. If you have faith, then the first story that Pi told in that movie of him crossing the sea, going through all these scenarios of the Bengal tiger eating the fish in the sea, saving Pi's life, crossing that ocean after that shipwreck. That's sort of the faith that's up for interpretation.
As Yukorski gets it nabbed by I believe that was McElroy at second with a sweet sliding catch.
Now, personally, I'm with the logic side here.
I won't lie, that might have been one of, if not the best analogies you've ever given on a broadcast, man. That was absolutely beautiful.
I had to do it for your final time, man. We like to have fun.
For men, bloops it up past the hands of Ambro into center field. Ferment's he's had a pretty good game today, all things considered. Despite being down 3, Ferment's had a couple opportunities to clank some hits, and he really has.
Yeah, the second story he told, he replaced the animals as humans, and he told that to the people investigating the shipwreck. I enjoyed the ending of that, and that's sort of with this game, the logic versus faith here for Cobleskill. And if you're Lorilla and Platt coming up to bat next, you're going to have to act like Richard Parker.
I'll say this, though.
Ferocious.
I'll say this, though. I feel like both teams combined, they could beat a Gorilla. Calling it right now. I guarantee you they could. No bats, no nothing.
No bats, no nothing. 100 men versus 1 Gorilla.
Yeah, something.
Not even 100 men on these rosters.
Yeah, I think it's still more than enough, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, some guy who works at a zoo, I forget which zoo. He's a zoologist. He said it could take like 20 to 30 average men to take down a silverback gorilla.
Lorilla scooped right over to Brandon at first and got him! Got the runner on second. And, folks, that is the ball game. The Lynx bounce back after a disappointing loss to the Thomas College Terriers, and they'll go on to play the loser of Thomas and Husson University tomorrow. And if you're the Fighting Tigers, that's it. You got to give them a lot of credit. They did really well just keeping the fight throughout this game. But that is the end to their season.
And credit to Fighting Tigers, obviously 9-22 record. That's not the kind of season you want, but they had that 8-4 conference record, which is what they wanted. Snuck their way into the North Atlantic Conference tournament. Couldn't go their way, unfortunately, but it's hard to pull off these Cinderella runs. It's not often we see Cinderella runs. But hats off to the Fighting Tigers. They'll obviously get better next season. And it's even better for Lesley. They fight another day. Fight to live for another day.
And there's one guy that if we had to look at for just absolutely dominating performance, I mean, who else other than Raymond Morales, who really just did everything for this Lynx team tonight?
Absolutely everything. Out there on the mound, he crushed it. And then as a hitter, he crushed it. Definitely our player of the game.
As Dropkick Murphy sends us away in serenade, huge shout out to our crew for making all this possible. For Xander Cook. And
Hold on. Before we officially send it off, congratulations, Mr. Sam Miller, on a beautiful Husson career, man. Play-by-play, color commentary, no matter what it is, taking photos, doing stats, anything. You poured your heart and soul into it, and no one is happier for you than I am. You deserve every moment of this. You deserve to ride off into the sunset, brother. And I'm hoping for big things for you once you wrap it up on Saturday, and I do think those big things will happen.
That means a lot,
100%,
man. That means a lot, man.
100%.
Thank you so much. It's been, like I said earlier, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege and a dream come true to be able to experience something that I've wanted to do for the longest time. And with the people that I've gotten to know, with all my colleagues, just Max Sturm, Xander Cook, Avery Henningsen, Caden Trenowith, Aiden Tivich, Jacob Ouellette, just to name a few, you guys have made this experience so much better for me. And for that, I will be eternally, and I mean eternally, grateful.
And for those of you who don't know, this man has an Instagram, Smilla the Announcer on Instagram. Please drop a follow. He is the next best thing since sliced bread. You are witnessing history here.
I appreciate it, bro. That means a lot. And once again, for our talented crew behind the scenes, and for Xander Cook for the last time, this is Sam Miller saying thank you so much for watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network.